guys. How's everybody this morning? You've been outside all morning. Hi guys. Hi Sailor. Alright, everybody sit. Ooh, sit. Sit. Good Jax. Good Shelby. Zaylor. Good Z. Stay. Stay. Come on. Come on. Alright, I think I'm going to spend most of the day today tidying up some stuff from over the weekend, but starting to prep in the arena to get stuff out of there. Still don't know where I'm putting the crap. You wind up just putting it under big ass tarps. Frustrating, to say the least. Very frustrating. Yep. Given that, I think I've got to. It's not in here. I think it's in the Bobcat ATV. That I gotta kind of defrag where I batted it in on this side over there. The slide's not working. Since I had to beat that thing out of there. Man, I don't know what. I cleaned out the receiver part of that. I think I'm gonna siphon the gas or drain the gas out of the green Bronco and actually try to fire it up today, man. I haven't had that thing fired up in a long time. So I'm going to do that. Kind of excited, apprehensively excited as to what's going to happen there. And we'll see. I've got to get, oh, that's what I wanted, this battery box on tray here. I'm going to mount that on my flatbed trailer because I'm going to have to use the winch. I'm going to have to use the winch to get the two small Broncos out of there. They haven't been fired up. The black one, in theory, could fire up, but it has a broken axle on it. The blue one, that ain't happening. I got to get those things out of there. There's a pair of gloves I can use for the day. I don't have a bunch of sap on them. I got to buy gloves. This is just way off topic. Like, you get these gloves, and they're fine and dandy, but what happens where these seams are on the fingers and on the tips, those seams can get rough in your hands if you're wearing them all damn day, and they're not smooth. Those are just kind of a bulk cut glove. I like getting things that fit a little bit tighter. These ones have been broke in a little bit, but they're still, you can see they're the same gloves. These are a little bit of a thinner gauge. These ones are okay, but I got a number of these pair because they're cheap enough, but they're just for bulk work it's fine, but sometimes when you're doing things that require some dexterity or slight movement with your hands, it's painful. They start rubbing and causing problems. It's not so bad if you're wearing them for 5-10 minutes at a time, but if you're wearing them for 2, 3, 4 hours a day, they're a pain in the ass sometimes. Alright, so the battery box, I'm going to use the Bobcat today because it looks like it's going to rain, and at least it has a lid on it. What else? I got to come back up here to get the battery box, so I got to go down and open up the arena. I might have to put the hitch attachment. I'm going to leave the trailers in there. I might actually see about getting the Bronco loaded up onto a trailer and get that out of the way now. We'll see how that goes. We will see how that goes. These folks notified me e-replacement parts, which I was telling you I buy a lot of stuff from, and most of the time they're okay, but they sent me an email stating that one of the items on this order, i.e. this gasket, they can't get. So I've waited all this time for them, primarily for that gasket, and they can't get it. So I'm just going to have to go back to square root one. They still haven't got me this order. It says pending for that clutch hub. So I went online and found two different options, ordered them. The two options are about $10 more than what that one hub clutch from E-Replacements was going to cost, because that order's still pending. I sent them a note. I hate calling. I hate phone calls because it's just easier to work by email, because then you can deal with it on your schedule and they can deal with it on their schedule. Obviously their schedule is they're not dealing with it because they haven't responded to me about when the frickin' order's supposed to be coming in. It's probably coming in from China or something. But anyway, some other folks said they had them in stock. They said this was in stock. You can't trust people. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be it's already started to rain. You know what? There it is. I have a flannel in here. Alright, well, let me get rolling here. I'm enough jibber-jabbing on crap. And I got to find out what to do. I hate to throw these away. These are all a bunch of Taiwanese sockets that I don't know, I've been laying around for years and years. I don't use them, but they're nice to have for emergency situations. I've got a toolbox in the house, got tools out here, got tools in the other shop. I don't know where to put them that could be of use. Anyway, I'll figure that out. Okay, the goals are to get the Bronco fired up if possible. So I just think the gas is going to be bad in the batteries, and that's about it. But still, get this thing fired back up. I had it running and haven't touched it for a while, so the battery's probably shit on it as well. I know the battery will be crap on it, and gas may be bad. But I rebuilt, did a lot on this motor, but have it running. The only thing that was really functionally wrong with this after I got it running are these rams are leaking. They leak down, so when you go up, they leak down, and I need to fix the seals in this. So I'm kind of thinking I may have a hydraulic run in my future here shortly. Get the rams. I got two rams on the grapple, one ram, the main ram on the boom for the Bobcat, and these two rams to deal with. But other than that, man, this thing, I used it to change bulbs in here, way up there. I got to figure out how to yank this thing out of here. I'm thinking I can use that as a steering mechanism, but I'll have to see how to rig up to it to get it out of here. This is kind of the same motor that's on that one, but I haven't touched it, haven't done anything with this since we've been here on the farm. And I need to figure out how to deal with that. Fucking birds, I hate birds. I hate these birds in here. And then this Bronco and that Bronco got to come out of here. The boat's got to come out of here. This ain't happening today. So the other goal is to get this battery mounted on this trailer. Just makes it easier to run the winch and have at it with that. I got to replace these boards. Those boards have shrunk is what they did, and they pulled back out of this bracing. But these things, this hardware in here is not coming out of there. I got to drill them out or heat them, and I don't know. I've tried a while back ago. Got to get the hoops on the boat so the water sheds off of it, because it might be outdoors under, but I'll have it under the tarp if that's the case. So the immediate goals: Bronco, scissor lift, trailer. Get those three things taken care of, then I can work on how to get this out of here, because if I get that running, I can drive it out of here. Running, drive it out of here. Battery on that, just more convenience to get the Broncos loaded up on. Um, and then I can try to yank this thing out of here, either with a tractor, pickup, the 350, put it in four-wheel drive, excursion, something, but it'll have to come on out of here. I think it's going to be back and forth type of thing, because I'm probably going to have to take it out the front, because I can't get it out the side gate over there. I could potentially go, I think it might be too wide to get through that gate, so I'll have to go out the front, which means I gotta do that, pull it back. It'll have to be a steering effort, and that's going to be a pain in the ass. Yeah, I think this is going to be the steering mechanism for it right there. I got to figure out what to do to rig up to that. Okay, let's get on this Bronco. First thing I'm going to do with the Bronco is just try it, see what happens. Hook these batteries up and just give it a shot and see what happens. So that's what I'm going to do. Yep, battery's really dead, which is not surprising. I forgot this key. It wasn't me. I got twisted and broke off in there when I actually was putting this thing in here. So that was a bit disappointing, but it did. I did get juice to it. It did turn over, meaning it cranked. But we'll see how it runs. This fuel is going to be so bad, but I just want to see if I can't get it going. So I put the big. This is a badass truck. Totally built from tip to toe. I think I've mentioned that. But I want to get this battery charged, fire, see what happens, and then if I have to start sucking the juice out of the tank, I'll do that. I brought a siphoning tube and a little siphoning pump thing, and we'll do that. Get as much bad gas out of there as possible. This, I'm sure, is dead, so I'm just gonna. I tried this booster battery on there on the Bronco first, so hopefully it didn't drain it down. But this is a reverse. This is a reverse polarity on this thing. I'm going to pull this. Yeah, see, that's the negative, and that goes to the starter. And the positive is grounded right here. And that thing's looking pretty poor for ground. But again, I had this thing all running. We'll see what happens with it. We will see what happens with it. Birds. Birds, I hate them in here. Crap all over everything. Well, that battery's up to like a whole 1%. I have it on a 55 amp charge. I'm wondering if I should, I might put it down to a 20 amp charge, because it's going to be a little while. There. Let's do that, and I might. Here, let me shut it off. I'm going to, that one's on there. I'm going to take the ground off of it, just for now. I'm going to take the ground off of it. Do that. Turn this back on. You can get it together. trusty Peppy. I've been in some gnarly situations with that thing. It, I used to mud in it, so I bought that truck in '92. It's a '92. I bought it in '92 in Texas, and in Tennessee started doing a bunch of mudding, running the hills and ridges. And man, I've gotten stuck in that thing big time. And when I came up here, I got more into rock crawling. So I had a client in Florida. I took it down to Florida with me. I still had my residence, my property and stuff up here, but I had an apartment down in St. Augustine, or in Ponte Vedra, just a little bit south of Jacksonville. And I started getting into rock crawling. So took out everything underneath it, put Dana 60s in it, front and rear, an Atlas reduction transfer case, built the E4OD transmission. Jack and I stroked the 351 Windsor to a 393, changed out the computer, went over to all this GT40 stuff, big injectors, bigger injectors, full roll cage integrated into the chassis, into the frame. And then I stopped dealing with it. I just got busy, and I was traveling like all over the world actually. And it's got hydraulic assist steer up front, but it started this death wobble, so this made it real sketchy to drive. But it's got 513 gears, and it's spooled in the back, so it's just really sketchy on the street. But I kept it tagged to go down and get gas, and so I could, just move it around and if need be do things with it. But anyway, hopefully it'll charge up. This guy, let's see what's going to happen here with this. Let me shoot some carburetor cleaner down this bugger. This over here. That post hole digger's got to come out of here as well. All this stuff's got to come out of here. What a pain in my ass. Let's see what happens here. Choke is open. Let's open the throttle up a little bit. Come on, baby. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to hear. Come on, baby. Treat me like you love me. Come on. I gotta start back here. I guess that's a cab fuel run through it. Come on. You can do it, honey. That's what I wanted to hear. Come on. Get some of this bad gas out of there. Yeah, baby. have to put the 150. I disconnected the batteries even just to see if that'd help with the charge on them. We'll see here. Let's move this guy over to here. And this guy over to here. Running. Battery is just so dead. I wasn't getting any spark. I mean, it's down to 0. I had to jury rig my spare battery into here, or my jumper battery into here. But these things, those two Optimas were like down to 0. Got this one up on the charger and it's up to 1. But as soon as I got my other battery jumped off into here we go. That's probably some of that bad fuel in there now. Hopefully she'll fire back up. Get that alternator charging this stuff up as well. Oh, come on, baby, stay running. That belt's squeaking like everything out there. She lives. That's awesome. Today. I think I'm going to go back into the arena. I'm actually going to try to see if I can't do something with that the big gray scissor lift. See if I can't try to get it started up. Lay out some space in the back where I can start putting things. I think I have a plan of attack just to get things out of the arena and covered until we can get some type of storage facility put into place. I've got this run along here. Got since I have the Shelby out of here, I can pull stuff up a little bit further, so I can park one of the trailers along here. Got this run back here. I might be able to get the 2 scissor lifts in back here. I've got this space here. I got to move that white oak that I've been talking about. And then I've got this space here, so I've got plenty of space to put the stuff. It's and I think what we're just going to do for the very near term is buy a couple of big pool tarps and cover the stuff up. The black Bronco will go inside. I think it's going to go into the garage. I can pull the tractor over and have the tractor and the Bobcat kind of parked in close to one another, and that'll give enough space, I think, for the quad and gator down here. So that opens up that bay to bring the black Bronco in over there, and some of those attachments that are in the barn or the arena can then come into here. The rape and the bale, the bale spike, a couple of those things can come into here as well. So I think that's what I'm gonna do first off here is head down to the arena. See what I can do with that big scissor lift, see how those batteries, or that battery did on the Charger. I did get online last night and bought a couple of new Optimas from Advanced Auto. They had a 20% off sale, and you can pick up with a maximum of $50 off. So we got $50 off 2 Optimas, and they were good price too. So I got them really basically for about $200 a piece, and they're usually like I've seen them other places, most places $234. So that's a pretty good deal. That's how I look at it. Alright, I'm going to use this today. I've got to go do some measurements for the well. We've got to have a new well dug, so I got to go take some measurements for that before I head into the arena. Okay. So what I did here to do this is to figure out where the new well is going to go here at the property. I went from the corner of the house over there to the corner of the arena. I have 2 drawings of this property at different times. One is fairly recent, the other is from 1988. The recent one has the property line distance, and the distance from the corner of the house here to the corner of the arena, and the distance to the property line between the arena or the house, depending on which way you want to look at it. The older drawing, though, shows or reflects the current water lines coming from the well over there to the house. But that drawing doesn't reflect this addition that was added to the house. So I sent the well company two drawings, one with the markup on it where we'd kind of like the new well. So the new lines are the water lines are kind of coming in to that corner right there of the house, and that's where the water, the pressurizing tank and all that is. It's down in the basement right there. And of course this looks like it's the foundation is, or the addition is kind of right over those lines. So I'm kind of thinking if that's where all the equipment is in the basement, I'm asking them to put the new well 10 feet out from the corner of the house here, which is basically right about right here. And then I had to give them the distance to the property line that way, which is approximately 102.5 feet, 102 feet 6 inches to the property line. It's a total of 138 feet 3 inches from the corner of the house to the corner of the arena. Now what I was just looking at on those old drawings is, so the arena has its own meter, as you can see. The house has its own meter, and the barn at the far end of the property has its own meter. That's where the apartments are. It actually has 3 meters. This barn is connected electrically and by water to that arena and that meter and that well. So not only do I have to now divert the water going to that barn to the new well, but I gotta get that barn a new source of electricity, and I'd rather not have it on the house meter. I'd rather have it have its own meter, because I do have a farm company set up, and I'd rather have that under the bills, the electric bills for that, under the Rick's Logistics, or Rick's Cattle Company. So that's kind of that, which means there's going to be a lot of trenching here. I got to terminate the water lines going to the house from that well and reconnect them to the new well. Well, get the new well dug, terminate the water lines from the arena to the house, and reconnect from the new well to the house. I've got to terminate the water line and electric line going from the arena to the barn, redirect the water lines to that well, and probably got to call Delmarva and have a meter and new line ran to the barn. That's what that is going to entail. So, but right now I got to go pick up new batteries to replace those batteries, and see what happens with that. But I got to go into the arena. I want to see how this other battery did before I head over there to pick that up. So I'm actually, after I get the batteries, I'm going to come over and fart around with this, see if I can't get it running. And that battery has not gone anywhere, so that's a dead battery as well. It has not charged. This thing's, I don't know how long it's been sitting in that. It's been there for at least 5 years, probably a couple, 3 years before that. So we'll shut that down. I think that one, this one is an auto, so that's fully charged, which is a good thing. And I think this one is fully charged. So I will hook these back up to it. Put it on a 2 amp charge. Let's see where. 37%. Man, that thing drained again overnight. It was up to 100%. That's probably a bad battery too. It's not holding on to a charge. I'm gonna get a new one of these, I guess. This one, I'll take it in for an exchange. Yeah, I can see this one bulged. It got overcharged. Alright, so this is what I wanted to check on. Alright, you and I have a rendezvous scheduled for later today. There's the little blue Bronco. That's going to have to get loaded up. Alright, gonna go pick up the batteries. This bugger had a hard time starting. The batteries are fried in it, which I need to get. But right now I got to get this stuff so I can get it moved out of the arena. So those batteries are taking precedence. I'm going to take the scooter over because I haven't had it fired up for a little while. Off we go. Our friendly advanced autos. I'm going to go in and score my batteries. I rarely come to this joint, but hey, good deal on these batteries. Can't go wrong with that. So advanced autos, here I come. Nice little Triumph pulled in here. Clean. Like that. New red tops for the Bronco. and that little guy is for that scissor lift and potentially that scissor lift. This battery didn't seem to be holding a charge overnight, so we'll see. It might be good enough to get things started. That's all I need, is really to get these things started up, and that one especially, see if I can't get it driven out of here. That would be so cool. That's a big ass heavy piece of machinery right there. Well, we'll see how this goes. Cleaned up the winch, put a battery box. It's bolted down into a metal tray. This is sitting in a metal tray that's bolted down, and this is, see, so bolted down. Battery can sit in there, on there. Like so. Just making sure that thing was fired up and running, because I'll have to pull the little blue Bronco up onto it and move it down and out, and have to winch that up on it as well. So that has a winch on it, the black Bronco. You guys will be seeing that in a day or two. That has a winch on it, so it's always emergency. I can hook a battery up to that, direct to that winch, and pull it up on the trailer. But anyway, all right. Well, I think first thing I'm going to do is get these batteries situated back in the Bronco here, the 92. Man, this thing's filthy. Might fire it up and run it down and pressure wash it a little bit, clean it out somewhat. Poor thing has been neglected. What's the term? Rode hard and put up wet. It's a nice. It's nice though. I put a lot of time and money into this thing, that's for sure. It's just getting old now, but get it fired back up and running, and then that always gives you some energy to get back at it and do things with it. So I got a new door for it. I cratered into a tree. I was in the rocks and slid into the trees right there. Wasn't bad. Bars kind of kept me off it. Anyway. Get it down to by the barn and pressure wash it. Maybe if it's nice out tomorrow, that's what I'll do. Right now I just want to get these two things functioning. So if you're wondering, yep, I have obviously I have a dual battery setup in here, it's a painless kit, but I made all my own battery cables. I took the time to make them, and that's why I had to get the Optimas, because everything is really fit right in here for the Optimas. And that I had the yellow tops in there, but these are the same frame. These are the same frame size. The yellow tops are, man, they come with these little kits and stuff. I don't remember this. The yellow tops are like a deep cycle and starting battery. Yeah, all kinds of little doodads in here. Okay. Alright, well, I'm going to get these things rolling in there, and something's hanging on that door now. This thing's got beat up. We had a bonfire party here one night. Fireworks, 4th of July, that was it. And a friend of ours was driving this, and I was in the green one with another friend of ours, and we were coming out of the paddock area here where we had lit the fireworks off. I rammed his ass because this thing's just slow. I came up and rammed his ass, and it cattywampus this whole bed on the bobcat. I didn't mean to hit him that hard, but I guess I did. So we got Todd and I were in this. We had tears rolling out of our eyes. We were laughing so much. But anyway, all right. Let me get on this thing here. There we go. Just like so. Well, I'm slowly getting this gas siphoned out of here. I was getting the hose off, the fuel line off the bottom of it. And I do have another tank. I can get it under there, but depending on how much it fills up, I'm not sure I could get it out of there because I have to tilt it sideways and do all that kind of bullshit. So I'm just slowly draining because it's going through this thing. I could pull it off of the bottom there and just let it go straight into there. I might do that. I brought a couple of things with me here to catch some gas. I already got the infamous mouthful of gas, and it's bad gas. It just give me an excuse to drink some vodka tonight, rinse out bad gas in my mouth. So if I can do this without it alright, so there was 2.5-3 gallons of crap fuel in there, and that's for sure, man. It was crap. Now, I think the filter, the fuel filter, is right there. Man, if this was smell-o-vision, you know what I'm talking about. But if you're watching this video for some reason or another, you probably know what bad gas smells like. And man, that's what we got here. Bad gas. Okay. Next maneuver is to get this line out here in the front somewhere so I can get at it. Okay, I'm having to use some old skill sets from when I was a juvenile delinquent, but I think I've had it turn over on starter fluid, which is a good thing. There's my fuel. I need to put some fuel in this bottle, and I need to put some fuel in this bottle and wipe that fuel line off. So let me do that first. It turned over on the with the starter fluid. Added oil, cleaned the plugs, shot some starter fluid into the cylinders as well. Okay, got just a little on there. Alright, so now this is going to be the trick. Hopefully I won't get this crap all over me. into there. Alright. Let's see. And there's a button on here for a choke as well. I'm not sure how that functions, but we'll see. Well, had it running. That's an awesome score, man. I gotta figure this key thing out though. Well, that was a good score. I'm thinking getting this thing running. Actually, getting this one running and that one fired back up. That was a good score as well. I wish those hydraulic rams functioned and make that thing a whole lot easier to be dealing with. But be that as it may, that's running. Just gotta, I think what I'm gonna do is just put a toggle switch, replace this with a toggle switch. And then this is running. And Peppy, the big Bronco, is running. So in theory, should be able to drive these three things out of here. Of course, the tractor and the mower down there are running. And I got the winch on the trailers working just fine. So I'll be able to get these trucks out of here, the little blue Bronco and the black Bronco, which I'll show you later. So those will come out of here. Things are looking up. Feeling way more positive about at least getting the stuff out of here. I'm not really all keen on what I got to do in the meantime to keep this stuff stored until I can get something built or put up. But anyway, that's the way it is. That battery keeps draining down pretty quickly. I don't know if it's going to hold on to anything as well, to a charge, that is. This one, that's already, that one's doing okay. That battery over there. But this new one in here that I picked up today is in this lift. I can use it between the two lifts if need be, but I think I have enough batteries. It's like everything around here I deal with uses batteries, man. I got 2 batteries in the Excursion, 2 batteries. I'm gonna undo this, undo one of these here. Just to keep it in case there's something draining it. 2 batteries in the Excursion, 2 batteries in the F350. Scissor lifts take batteries. Broncos got 2 batteries. Tractors take batteries. It's like, my lord, every time I'm turning around, I'm having to deal with batteries. I'm gonna do one thing on my way out of here, and that's I'm gonna stop at the Hustler. I want to measure. I got a new spring from Hustler, but I don't think it's the one I need, and I don't think they really, this is an old model. It has 4 springs on each wing, and the newer stuff, well, at least the stuff in the 90s, has only 2. I see this dust in this place, man. Oh, it's one thing I won't miss around this arena is the dust. Good lord. Can't do anything. I got stuff that you can spray, spread around, and it sucks up all the moisture and keeps it from being so dusty. I need another one of these springs, and I think what I got is one of those springs. So I got to fire this up and measure that top spring on there. No, I think I got the right spring. Let me go look for it. It goes on this one actually over here. it in a relaxed position. Bingo. Got it. I'm just going to set it right here. Lower this. Shut it off. Okay, good. I got to order a seat for this. I think I'll do that once we get this property closed and that's all taken care of. And I'm going to replace the seat, clean this up, paint it, maybe keep it, maybe sell it. It's just so handy, but selling a big chunk of this land, I'm not going to need that big ass mower anymore. Alright. Go park this, and I think I'm going to go park this, and call it a night. Man, it never fails. I hate dealing with old gas because inevitably you got to wind up siphoning it, and before I was siphoning, I tried to pull. I'm gonna hit stuff here if I'm not paying attention. I was gonna try to pull it out, with my mouth, suck on it to get the siphon running, and of course I got a mouthful of shitty ass gas, and got it on my chin, which wasn't cool. Actually I gotta go all the way back up there, and I don't want to drive through there because it just creates more dust. I need to lock that front gate up there, or that front, actually, you know what? I gotta go around to the side door and get my key and lock that up. I'll just do it from inside up there. Alright, well, yeah, this kind of from out from here straight on back there. I'm selling all of that to that side over there. This is my side over here. Don't need it. It's just making it not a very fun life to keep up with the maintenance, that's for sure. I just like to have a boat, my rod, and a nice pad to call home. I don't need all this bullshit. It's cool in a way, but it's a lot of work.